What's up, guys? Lincoln King here. I'll be playing some Overwatch. Sorry, I think about. I almost did a rainbow because yeah, I've been playing real. But today's video is a little bit different. One of my friends asked me to do a video on what every single hero does so far. I was like, okay, that's a pretty good idea. So I'm gonna be going from left to right, and I'll be going off some tips. I can apply more tips to some characters and some characters that can't really place any tips, but I can go over what they do. But let's go from left to right. I'm starting with tanks, ending with support, and if you don't know what the roles do, tanks, damage sponges, damage does damage, support heals what the damage does. Okay, so Diva. Diva's pretty self-explanatory. There's not really anything that Diva doesn't do. Basically, I think. I don't know what it is on Xbox or PlayStation, but left shift or boosters lasts for 2 seconds and can fly around stuff. And she doesn't reload, so it makes her the best pursuit person ever. To pursuit people. Her E fires missiles. I don't know how much they do, but they do that much. If all hit. Then we have her right click. I'll show you what her right click is right now. Basically deletes anything. It can delete ultimates, and other things. Basically that's really, and you can boot people off, and yeah. You can also shoot while flying. I'll show that here in a second. But yes, you can actually shoot and micro, but you can shoot while flying and use your missiles while flying. So that's pretty cool. Her Q, her ultimate. It's basically a diva bomb. That's what you're going here. Yeah. Basically, it's going to instantly kill most things except for roadhogs and some other tanks. Anyway, let's go into the next hero. When I get there. And okay, Orisa. Okay, Orisa is kind of like Reinhardt, except she deploys her shield and it's on cooldown. So yeah. But her right click gives her immunity to any CC effects or like graviton pull or earth shatter or anything that would like affect you, basically. Right click is a pull, so yeah, there's that. I'm going to try and get her ultimate right now. And ultimates charge up over time, passively, but can be boosted through damage and healing. La 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 la. Okay. Her ultimate boosts all the attack of everybody around the object. It does have a length range, but it can go pretty far. Yeah. So maybe about right there. Next. And you can shoot that in really awkward positions, as you can see. And you can pull people off the map with their pull. Reinhardt. Reinhardt's one of the characters that's like, I'm pretty good with him. Anyway. So Reinhardt swings his hammer. Now, this is a little bit weird to say, but he can attack in like a 180. So, these guys. I can hit them both with one swing. But actually, if you do this, you can hit them. I was aiming over here, but I ended up hitting them over here. So yeah. His shift is a charge. Doesn't insta-kill tanks, and I think it does 300 damage. So yeah. His E is a fire strike. But yeah. I'll show you what fire strike does. It basically just goes through enemies and stops on inanimate objects. Then you have his Q, which stuns enemies that are in a cone in front of him for a brief moment. And it can stun more than one. Yeah. And his fire strike actually gives you a lot of charge. It gave me like 7 charge. from one fire strike. That's from one person. If he hits more than one person, it gets a lot more. Anyway, Roadhog.
I'm a one-man.
Basically, Roadhog has a alternative fire. It's a more long-ranged thing, and he has his shotgun blast. Then he has his take a breather, which heals him, and he has a damage reduction. Then he has a
Get down.
he was supposed to die. Then he has his hook, which when it hits an enemy, unless you lose sight of him. Like, okay, if I were to attack her and lose sight, it doesn't go through. So it doesn't work like that. But yeah, that's Roadhog. And his ultimate, he puts an attachment onto his gun and it pushes people back. I'm not going to show you because it actually takes way too long to actually get that ultimate. Yeah. So, yeah. And where if you try to control his ultimate, it works better. Winston has a leap. So it's great when paired with Diva. And his E is a bubble shield. It lasts for a little while. And then goes away. And he doesn't do very much damage.
Regrettable.
And if he did do more damage, it would be crazy. Because he can attack more than one enemy. Anyway. Pretty easy. Oh, and those are health packs. But yeah. I'm going to show you his ult because his ult actually is one of those ults that's a little harder to use than you would think in the beginning if you're starting out Overwatch. And you can kill people with your leap, just so you know, it does do damage. His ultimate. It gives him a really big health boost. And this can be used when he has 1 health, he'll go to 1,000 and it slaps people away. So if Soldier or anyone who seems a threat will, yeah. If someone, like Soldier, if he uses Tac Visor, you pop your ult and you run after him. Because his jump is on a, like, 2-second cooldown. Hammond. It says Wrecking Ball, but his name's really Hammond. Hammond's a giant hamster ball. He can transform to a ball that goes faster, I believe. But he's one of the actual harder ones. But I've actually had a really good experience with him. His right click is a, or ability 3 is a grappling hook that when picks up enough speed, such as that fire that goes in front of him, will actually can hit people and knock them flying off. I didn't even touch him, but okay. And then his E, okay, his E actually is a shield, but depending on how many enemies around him is how big of a shield he gets. So that shield can go up to like 1,000. Yes, but say you were to hit a person off, or if you use the grappling hook and get really high altitude, you can use his slam, which, yes, you can actually slam off the edge. But a really good factor to know is that you don't really have to be falling. You could do this simple trick, is that as soon as you fall, I wasn't even like off the platform. I was like about right here, and I fell. Boom. Easy. And it's really good to get back up on ledges. His Q is a minefield.
Area denied. Destroyed.
And these can be destroyed. And that's really it. Hammond's more of a, you kind of want to hit his right click and then like use his ground slam, pop out, hit E, and then get away. If there's too many enemies, it's just sprinkle a couple damage right away. Pretty simple. Zarya. Zarya is going to be the hardest one to say because she's more of not really a main tank. But yeah. Zarya has a right click, which is a beam that actually has more damage once you take damage and use your shield. If you use your shield on an ally, which is shift to use your own personal, but E for somebody else. And your laser gets more powerful, amplifying your damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Half of our health is shield though, so be careful. Because shield can be hacked by Sombra and completely dismantled. Like, completely kind of take that shield away for that certain amount of time. And yeah. And yes, her right click does actually hurt herself, if you're wondering. But her ultimate is probably one of the most destructive, well, not destructive, but support oriented ultimates. You shoot a grab that acts like your right click, and it will pull any enemies in to it for a short amount of time. But you combo this with really any other ult, and you have one heck of a combo. Zarya, I do not play very often because I don't really like her, but yeah. Now we're moving on to damage. Bastion. Right clicks to repair. And you hit shift, you turn into a minigun that is stationary. Needless to say, you kill things faster than you would think. That guy was at low health. But his ultimate basically turns him into a tank. But you can actually completely misuse his ultimate. He has 300 bullets while he's in this form, but while in this form he has 25. But you can just keep switching in and out of the forms. No, you can't. Okay, never mind. But I have 268 bullets. If I switch in and out, I still have 26. Okay. I think it resets after a certain amount of time. Or whenever you press reload on here. 2. Yep. When his ult turns him into a tank. Blows up people. And he doesn't gain any health, but yeah. You can also rocket jump with it and get the higher up. So yeah. And the point of his ult is to stay mobile. Because he's not very mobile. He's good for making defenses with. So yeah. That's about it. Bastion. He's basically a point and click adventure game. Doomfist. As you can see, I have a gold gun, so I know what I'm doing with Doomfist. So his right click, no, let's go for shift. Shift is a uppercut. Launches you in the air and your opponent up with it if you hit him. His left click is a shotgun. Yes. His E is a ground slam. That the higher or the longer he is in the air while doing it, okay. If I press E going off the ledge, it amplifies the damage that which I do. Then he has his right click. His right click is a charge up, but can one shot most people. Tanks not really, and he does cancel out with Rhine and Brigitte, I believe. But basically your objective is to kind of E, uppercut, bam, blam, blam. And then you can do a really neat trick. If you press his... Actually, let me do this on a flat surface. Let's do it down here. If you... Oh, and his passive is if his uppercut, E, or fist land on anybody, he gains a shield on the number of people it hits. So, yeah. He's very ability-based. His right click, okay, if I just click it, not very far, I was right there, not very far. Yeah, right there, not very far. Now watch. That's an improvement. That was just me clicking it. And it was by, if you click, and while you're at the... Sorry, I didn't do it right. If you click and you jump at the same time, you get launched. Anyway, so his Q is a It's called Meteor Strike. It launches him into the air, and he can move around fast and do all sorts of stuff. Comes down on opponents. Really good for escapes. So say you were to uppercut E and then punch somebody, and you hit Q, you can get out of there with it. You want to use it mostly for escapes because it actually does have a quite a long cooldown. And you can do it with a fully charged one too. And that's where he gets most of his mobility from. It's just from that punch. Yeah. That's Doomfist. Genji. Genji's also one of the characters I do know what I'm talking about, but I don't actually have his gold for. Okay. So Genji's kind of like Doomfist in a way, but a little bit different. So he has his right click, which is throws 3 shurikens, or his left click, which shows one, like one after the other. His right click does more damage. That's just all 3 hitting. Anyway. So yeah, let me wait for these to respawn. Anyway, so his right click does that much damage, while his left click does just the amount of damage, but right click is more for close up, while left click is more for precision. Anyway, but say okay, let me wait for this guy to shoot. His E deflects back basically anything. It cannot deflect back Zarya's beam or basically anything that's like physical, really. He went Reinhardt's hammer, he cannot deflect back, but he can block. Using a deflect on Reinhardt's while he's swinging will make you take no damage. So, yeah. Anyway, but then he has his shift. His shift, okay, say, listen to me. He's pretty low. If I shift and kill him with it, or if I say shift through this person and kill them with it, it would reset. So you can potentially just go through people like butter. But then if you have, like, say, if you were to shift and say you have your ult, if you shift up, what you want to do a lot, and hit Q, brings out a dragon. Basically, you slash with this, but you can actually slash and use your dash with it, and it makes for some deadly combos with other heroes. And he can deflect back ultimates, such as Maze, really anything projectile. Soldier, he can deflect it back, but it's harder. You know what I mean? Like, he can deflect it back, but it's not going to, like, be, like, aimbotted. No. So Hanzo, he's been changed. So, yeah. He has his Sonic Arrow, which makes you see enemies through walls for a short time. He has his space, which is actually, while you're in the air, you can thrust forward, or whichever direction you're wanting to go. If I was facing this way, I could go that way. But his E is a storm arrow. It makes him rapidly shoot a couple arrows. But he is one of the few arrows that actually do have drop. Okay, I'm shooting up there. Well, let me go longer distance. Okay, so I'm aiming at his head. Let's see his head. I didn't mean to hit that headshot. But he has drop. So, yes. So it's like perfect. I can just spam this and it has drop. Like the aim at his head. Apparently hits his head. I mean, so Genji and Hanzo's are brothers, so yeah. But the longer you hold it back is the more straightforward it's gonna go, and the more harder it's gonna hit. And then he has his Q, his ultimate, which basically summons a giant dragon. Starts out as an arrow, but then goes into a dragon that damages enemies. And the arrow can be deflected back, but not the actual Hanzo ult. So yeah.
Have a taste of this.
I hit that? But yeah, Hanzo is a very accuracy-based hero. Junkrat.
It's a perfect day.
Junkrat.
Mayhem.
Okay. Let me just say, this left click, it bounces everywhere. It bounces on from walls to ceilings to everything. So if you are not pressing this, I don't know what you're doing. But if you're not pressing this 24/7, I'm not even meaning to kill that man. That's how it was. But E is a mine that will launch him or launch enemies. In this case, off the map.
You're blowing up.
His shift is a trap, bear trap, that actually stops enemies in their tracks, such as you.
Hold still.
He can kill people also. But that's really Junkrat. He doesn't have alternative fire. Pretty self-explanatory. Kind of a douchebag. Especially, let me show you a combo after I kill you. Okay. So if you click, okay. Shit. Okay. Full health. This guy. Click E. Okay, wasn't at full health. Let me just go back. Bounce over here. So if you click E and throw your mine, it instantly kills them. So if you just get good at doing that really fast, it can become really like dead. Riptire
Fire in the hole.
is his ultimate. It leaves him completely vulnerable, but he can climb up walls. It can do anything and does have a timer till it explodes, or you can detonate it manually. And does a lot of damage.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Anyway, but he's very good at shredding shields. But yeah. Now we got old shiny ball McCree here.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
Anyway, so McCree is accuracy based. He has this left click. Now he does have a right click. Terrible recoil. But it can end people in one clip. But here's the problem with it. If you were to say miss a couple, it's not gonna kill them. So if you were to stun them, which stops them in their tracks, and do that, then you do have a possibility of missing. Especially for someone like Devo or Tracer. So say you were to do this and say miss that shot. Well, they would be back up and roaming. Now, McCree, say I fire, then I'm going to do that. But say I fire 3 bullets. Well, his roll reloads his gun also. So if you're like at like, say, boom, boom,
You gotta work on that
1
aim.
roll, back at 6. Then we have his ult, High Noon. I think everyone knows this, what this does.
It's high
It locks on
time.
targets. Once there's a skull around them, kills them. Simple. So, yeah. Meh.
Our world is worth fighting for.
I'm not even going to say anything with words.
Hiya. 这样可以挡住他们。
This actually heals her. That's the only thing I'm going to say. And she does not take any damage.
瞧瞧这个。 This will stop them.
Her ultimate, Blizzard.
冻住，不许走。
It's just like this, but amplified. That's me.
冰
It-
墙升
That's
起来
me.
吧
You can block out passageways and stuff. Farah, whatever. Spaces to go up. Don't know what it is for you, but it's surf jetpack. Shift is a really big boost, but it does not use fuel. Shoots rockets. Has a concussive blast, which launches you or enemies off the map, or that.
You made a tactical.
Anyway, but she's the only one that can actually go vertically, like has the most vertical movement.
Move back.
What? But basically, yeah. And you can, and since it's a blast radius, it can hit people when they're not even touched by it. But yeah. And while you're falling or really doing anything, you do gain fuel back, and then you have your rocket barrage.
Justice reigns from above.
Clearing the area.
And that's Farah. And McCree and Soldier are both counters because they can shoot pretty. They're not projectiles. It's, yeah. Reaper. Okay, so I didn't mean to hit you. But Reaper has this phase shift, which nothing can hurt him, and he reloads. And you can cancel it also. He has his teleport. You can teleport so far.
From the shadows.
Now, Reaper is a little bit of a douchebag sometimes. Do not get close. These are shotguns, not like snipers. So you can actually become one-shotted. If you get too close, you can become one-shotted. But they're shotguns. I'm really bad against people long range, but as he... And the more damage he does, the more he heals. So, yeah. And he does move faster while he's in Wraith form.
Double kill. Triple kill.
And if you melee while mid-transaction, it actually does cut it down. And then his Death Blossom hurts all enemies around him.
Double kill.
And that's Reaper. Soldier. Soldier is he has a sprint. Yeah. He has a self-heal that heals other allies also. Soldier has a alternative, I guess, and it's his Helix rocket, which does massive amounts of damage, but you can rocket jump with it, so that's awesome.
Double kill.
So, yeah, you can go around basically killing everybody. Pretty simple. I'm not very good with Soldier at times. I prefer McCree, but I do recommend picking him or McCree up. Anyway, so...
Double kill.
And he has his ult, which is aimbot. It's aimbot. So if someone accuses you of aimbotting as Soldier, and you're using Tac Visor, they have some serious issues. Sombra can be invisible indefinitely. She has a translocator that she throws. Stays there until either teleported to or destroyed. She can hack people, which disables their abilities. And if, say, McCree is ulting, he'll be hacked and can no longer use his ult. Also hack health packs. Enemies cannot use these. Heals your team more. And her ult is basically a giant hack on everybody.
Always leave yourself a backdoor.
Symmetra. So, Symmetra's new. New rework. Her right click explodes, actually, so it can't... I can shoot it right beside this guy, and it'll hurt him. And he has turrets that she shoots, basically, kind of like sends out. And they hurt a lot, and they do slow. She also has a teleporter.
Teleporter online.
Go up to it, press F, you're teleported. She has a left click that amplifies as the longer that she's
Just
out.
as expected.
But right click is what you're mainly going to use. And then you have
Yahi param vastavika
a
hai.
giant shield. And it has 5,000 hit points. So, needless to say, you're not going to get through that. And this teleport can go pretty dang
Teleporter
high.
online.
Double kill.
I have opened the bar.
Jesus. Torbjorn. Torbjorn by himself is not very good. Left click is a...
I can use this.
It's just a shoot, and then his right click is a shotgun.
Flagged.
His E armor that you can give to teammates
Armor over here.
or take for yourself. And it's by picking up these scraps that enemies drop. Or it generates over time.
Armor.
Then he has
Get it. I foresee great things
a
for
turret,
you.
which his secondary gun is a hammer. It's at level 1 right now. There's level 2. Does more damage, shoots faster, basically all around better. And his ult
They can always use more.
basically gives him a giant
That's
upgrade for his turret, and it shoots rockets. And he shoots faster, hammers faster, and has more health. Easy. Tracer. Now, there's not much to say about Tracer, but it's got a right click as a blink. So, it's about how far a one tap on Doomfist can do without the jump. And once you're out of leaps or teleports or blinks, you have to wait for them to go off cooldown to come back. Now, that's her gun. She doesn't. Her right click is the teleport. And E is to recall, and she'll gain any health back and stuff like that. And if you reload while, like, blinking, say, it basically by the time you're done blinking, you'll have it. This is a sticky bomb.
Here you go. Locked on. Smash it.
Yeah. And it does have a little bit of a blast radius, but you have to be pretty close to the person. Next is Widowmaker, the last of the damage. She has a grappling hook, kind of like Hammond, except it brings you up and above, not swing around. And her rifle takes a while to power up, but you can hit somebody around 80%. Say percent. Around 80% headshot and they'll die. For a body blow, that's a body blow. And every single time you shoot, you have to wait for it to go back up. Her E is a Widow Mine. That when an enemy steps into it, poisons them and makes her be able to see them through walls.
The widow's kiss.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Anyway,
Music to my ears.
but a tip is that you can actually come up and come over and shoot people in mid-air. And her Q is wall hacks.
No one can hide from my sight.
Wall hacks.
Double
Anyway.
kill.
Yeah, and it makes for your whole entire team also, not just for you.
Watch your very well.
Next is supports. I don't have any tips on supports.
Stop fighting for what you believe in.
Ana, her shots heal allies and damage enemies. And whenever it's like this, it's a projectile, I believe. And when it's like this, it's actual thing. She has a sleep dart.
Oh, you look tired.
Until you take damage, you won't wake up. Yes. She has her grenade that, okay. Let me wait until he comes back.
Feeling sleepy?
Wow. Basically, it can, her shots
I've
heal,
seen worse. You're going to live.
and then it makes enemies not able to heal, so you can damage them and they will be permanently healed. Does not matter about if it's self-healing or not, but you can also heal allies
You're going to
significantly.
be okay.
And then her nano boost, you can nano boost friendlies and it will heal them
Powered up. Get in
and
there.
makes them tougher. Yeah, amplifies their damage also. Yeah.
It's quiet time.
Brigitte.
I will be your
Brigitte's
shield.
kind of like Reinhardt, but support. More damage she does, the actual more heal, the more she heals around her. Okay. She has a right click as her shield, like Rein. Anyway. And whenever you left click with her shield up, it will go forward and stun enemies.
Step off.
Her E is a heal and it does give armor if you're already full. Her shift is a
I see you
whip.
over there.
does not insta kill, that guy was already hurt, but basically it hits people and boops
I
them
meant
off.
to do that.
And if you say there's an enemy, if you hit them, boom, bot, yeah. If you just hit them, shield bash, and then whip them, they will take significantly a lot of damage. Her Q increases her speed
Armoring you up.
and gives allies armor for a while. Great to use before you go into fights.
Step off.
And yes,
From me.
that's basically about it.
Giving you a little extra.
Anyway, next is Lucio. Lucio
Come on, let's bring it together.
has a speed boost or a healing boost. That is his shift. That switches it from speed to healing. And this does not have a cooldown, so you can sit here and do this all day.
Time to accelerate.
Anyway, but then he has a amp it up, which is E, and it makes it boosts the effect, whichever hits healing or speed boost. And Lucio can ride on walls. Or if you really want to be a douche, these do a lot of damage. You can speed boost and use his right click to
Step to this.
not kill them, but
Push
you get the idea. Boop him off. And his and you can shoot while wall riding, boop him off while wall riding. As boop doesn't cost ammo.
Push off.
And basically this increases, and basically that's it. But Lucio's ult is basically he breaks it down, which
This.
basically means that he gives his allies a
Check this out.
shield.
Healing boost. Oh, let's break it. Damn.
That gives you a lot, but it deteriorates over time. So it's good for a couple seconds and then off it goes, like that man.
See,
Anyway, next, Mercy. Mercy is the one character I cannot play.
Watching over you.
So basically, her shift, you will fly to friendlies and you can stop this anytime. You can be like mid-flight and hit it again to stop it. Her left click is the heal. Her right click is the damage boost. And E is to revive allies.
This is not the end.
Awesome. Anyway, but yeah, and then her second weapon is a pistol.
Double kill.
Basically it.
Triple kill.
Never
That's
know
mercy.
I had it in me.
And she also has her ultimate makes her be able to fly. And makes her self-healing.
I'm not looking
She has self-healing that heals over time. Just apparently. Shoot me. Shoot me. Okay. So, and then she'll heal when she's not taking damage. Her ultimate makes her fly. Her self-healing is boosted, and she can heal. If she's locked on the one, people around that one person actually do get healed a lot more. And she heals a whole lot more, but she heals other people instead of that one target. Mora, she's kind of one of those that you do damage to heal. So you have a heal bar right here. This deteriorates the more that you use it. And it heals a little bit like over time. It doesn't do like I can tap this person and it heals them. But once you're out, to refill this you need to do damage.
Tell me how this feels.
Anyway. Then she has a shift kind of like Reaper's, except it's a quicker one and does like bigger dashes. Then she has her E. Her E, she either throws a heal ball that heals allies, or she
Your strength ebbs.
or it damages allies. I mean, it damages enemies, not allies. And her ult
An evolution
is a Kamehameha. And it can heal allies and damage enemies. And it goes through everybody. So, as I'm healing this guy, I can also be damaging that person.
touch from afar.
But yeah,
This
that's
will improve your
Mora
condition.
for you. And Graviton Surge, if you ult, say you're outside the Graviton Surge and you ult, then yes, you can actually keep your team alive. And you can also use the shift to get out of Graviton Surge, and that's really it. Next is Zenyatta. Now his controls different, but basically Zenyatta's not special. He just has. This is more like, it's kind of like McCree. Think of McCree. He has this, and he has his charge step, which it charges 5 balls and shoots them and can kill people. His healing orb, or his left shift for me, heals allies. And you can be in. Once you break line of sight with him, after 3 seconds, it will return. Same with the Discord, which is basically they take more damage. Yeah. But once you break line of sight for 3 seconds, it returns. And his ult is basically, and neither of his abilities have cooldown. I didn't even think about that. But yeah. And his ult basically keeps friendlies alive and makes him immune to damage. So, yeah, for a short amount of time. Anyway, but I'm going to go into some tips I forgot on Genji. So that's all the characters and what they do. But tips on Genji. There is so there's this first combo, which I didn't use on a really stand still target. Basically, it's throw 3 shurikens and dash, and you'll kill that person. And then there's the close-up one, which that's it. You throw 3 shurikens into the guy's face and dash through them. That will usually kill them, or you can do that. But Genji does more damage if he's behind enemies. But with Genji, enemies are low, and say I'm midway reloading, knife him. Genji is man for the knives. Melee a lot with him, really. But you really want a chain reaction. His dash, and if you use this correctly, it can lead to devastating things. That was really it, just the combos. You have the sorry, don't know what that was about, but hey. Why? Okay. And Genji can double jump. And climb walls. Hanzo can also climb walls. Same as Genji, but he has his dash forward instead of dash up. That's all. So I will see you guys next time.